From shooting machine guns in war to fashion and entertainment. Q, so happy to have you here with us today at The Real Z Talks.
It's truly an honor. Thank you so much for inviting me.
So what's your real name?
So my Korean name, my real name is Kwon Junhyuk.
Okay, I don't think I'll be able to.
That's why I'm called Q. That's why everybody calls me Q.
Okay.
And Q, that name derived from, so there in Asia, there's Kwon, Kwon. In China, there's Kwon, Kwan. And in Vietnam, there's Kwon, Quan. And me coming up into the military, when I joined the military, and at that time, the world wasn't open-minded yet as much. So they assumed either I was Chinese or whatever, and then Kwan, they didn't know that was a Korean name, so they thought maybe that was they know Vietnamese.
Yeah.
So they used to call me Kwan with the Quan, and then later that got shortened to Q. And I was like, Q, I actually like that. It's just one letter, it's easy for people to remember.
It's easy to pronounce.
And it stuck with me. So even when I started DJing, my DJ name was DJ Q.
Okay.
And I feel like it fits me.
It does fit you.
Yeah.
So if we remove, the military, the shooting guns in war, who you are as Q, what would you say? Who are you? How would you describe yourself?
I can use this because this belongs to my partner Muta.
Okay.
Who
is Muta?
So Muta Bio, AKA Napoleon. He was with Tupac and the Outlaws.
Okay.
We're all like family, and he's actually one of the co-founders of my clothing brand. When he came to Saudi Arabia, when he converted to Islam and he came to Saudi Arabia, he had this term, thug life to mug life, because he actually, when he started off, he opened up a cafe.
Okay.
Called NW Cafe. So mug as in coffee mug.
Yeah.
And the reason why he chose that, because when he was in the streets of LA, running wild and doing all that gangster stuff, he was like a raging alcoholic. Mm-hmm. So he gave it up just like that after he converted to Islam, and he started drinking coffee and like doing normal stuff. So that's why he said,
oh, that's why to mug life.
To mug life.
Yeah.
Which is like from bad to good.
Exactly.
In a way, that's kind of like me. I grew up at the era where street violence was at the peak, highest peak.
So you were living in LA?
In Los Angeles,
okay.
Yeah. During the LA riots, and we're at war against all of us, like all of us. Like Asians, it doesn't matter. If you're Chinese and I'm Korean, we're at war, and vice versa. So with that, I was never in the gang, but all my friends were. Because there was no other way. Like all my friends, one out of three is gonna be in a gang. That's how it was back in the days, me growing up.
So you were in Korea first, and then?
No, I was born and raised.
Okay.
In America, and lived most of my life in California until I joined the military, which is by the grace of God that I got into the military, because I was supposed to go to prison.
So you're saying it saved you?
Yeah, it saved me. Actually, no, God saved me.
Of course.
It was God. God gave me that first, second, 3,000 chance to fix my life up, and I chose the military, which was still kind of scary, but it was either the military or I go to prison for 10 to 20 years. I had in the 90s, our senator for California had this plan to clean up the streets, and he called it the 3 strikes law. If you have 3 offenses, 3 of the same offenses, felony.
Yeah.
That's it. You're in jail to 20 plus years.
You're done.
Yeah, they throw you right in jail for 20 plus years, prison.
Yeah.
And I had like onesies and twosies. I had like grand larceny, like two felonies of grand larceny, stealing cars. Because I grew up in the car racing scene, the street racing scene, like the movie Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
That's why I connect with that so well.
I feel like you're out of a movie right now. Like this is a story that's coming out of a movie.
Actually, a lot of people said I should make a movie out of it, because the journey I went through
must be tough.
I saw my first dead, murdered body at the age of 5 at a park. And I remember it was after school, we went to the park and we're playing handball. And I went to go chase after the ball behind the wall, and there's a dead body. And so we called the teacher, our daycare, like, I don't know how to say it, like the
What
teacher.
year was that?
This was in 1985. I was 5 years old. I was in kindergarten.
Okay.
And then in first grade,
That must be traumatizing. Like you had to heal from that at some point.
honestly, like, didn't phase me as much as the other kid that was with me.
Yeah. But as you grew up.
Yeah, which means I'm not saying I'm a serial killer or
Yeah.
anything, or it's just I'm mentally tough.
Yeah.
And this was proven when I went to war and I lost all my friends and I saw people dying in front of me left and right.
So military, you got out of military and you feel like you need to, heal from what you've seen and what you went through, or no?
No, it made me more grateful of what we had.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the complaining I used to do before when I was young.
It toughens you up.
Like, why can't I get the new tennis shoes?
Yeah.
Why do I have to wear these clothes still? I want some new clothes.
Yeah.
Why can't we eat pizza instead of rice? Just complaining about the nonsense.
Yeah.
When I joined the military, like that's when I realized all those times that I was getting disciplined by my mom, I understand now.
Mm-hmm.
Because nothing is as hard as what I had to go through,
Exactly.
And here's the kicker. There's people going through worse, even to this day, of what I went through. And mine was only just temporary.
Yeah.
They've been going through that their whole life.
There's always something worse going on, but
That's exactly what I tell my children.
Yeah.
I tell my children, every time they start complaining and crying about stuff, I always tell them, look, be grateful what you have, because there's always somebody out there who has it worse.
What about 935, the culture? How did you come up with it?
Right before when I left to go to Korea in Hollywood, I opened up, this is right after I got out of the military.
Okay.
15 years, I was like, I'm done.
So 15 years in the military, you got out.
I went to war 4 times. I'm like, okay, I think I've done my part. I got out, went back to California. First thing I did was I enrolled in Los Angeles Film School. I wanted to learn about music because they have a music department there.
Yeah.
I was, being a previous DJ, I wanted to learn more about music production. Then that kind of veered into film because people were telling me I had a really good eye for direction. I opened up my company, which is a talent management company called ICE Los Angeles.
That was in LA.
Yes.
Nice.
And ICE stands for, it's an acronym. It actually stands for Innovative Connoisseurs of Entertainment. And that's why it's ICE.
ICE,
It's not supposed to be ICE, it's supposed to be ICE.
Yeah.
But of course, everybody calls it ICE. Which is fine. And then from there, I ended up by sheer luck, because I'm new in the industry. In Hollywood, to make it in like talent and talent management or talent agency, you have to put the work in for 10 years. So that's why most people start right out of college, like when they're 21. They don't actually start making money until they're like almost 40, because they had to build the connections. Me, I'm already like 33, I think? Oh no, I was 35 at the time, I think. Yeah, I was 35 years old when I got out of the military.
And you started ICE.
And I'm still,
ICE.
I just started college.
Yeah.
I'm late, but things just fell into my lap. Like
You also worked for the LA Fashion magazine, right?
That's where I met the publisher for the LA Fashion magazine, was at LA Fashion Week.
Okay.
We got along really well. He loved my story, like what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And he says, you know what, let's actually collab, because at the time he wasn't using celebrities on the cover of his magazines.
Okay.
He was just using straight models, like fashion models, because he wanted to keep it more avant-garde. But he realized celebrities is what's going to attract people to your magazine, regardless. That's actually, I told him that. So some of my talent, I brought them in to do the cover shoot, and one of them, Christina Milian, was a good friend of mine, and she started off as a recording artist. I think she had a couple #1 and Grammy Awards and everything. My sister, she's the senior vice president of BCBG, Max Azria.
Oh, nice.
And she works directly for Max Azria himself.
Okay.
So, and then my mom, she was a sample maker for over 40 years. So I have fashion in my
So you
background.
have it in your blood,
Yeah.
it's there.
Yeah.
So after that, you went to LA.
But I created ICE Los Angeles, And then from there, at the fashion show, I met the publisher of LA Fashion Magazine. Christina Milian's photo shoot, I was there, and I was telling her, you know, okay, when you pose, you know, do this, and then kind of go like this. And then the way I was posing her and all that, he was like, you're really good at art directing. He's like, why don't you be my art director? And I just, voila.
Like that.
It was just like that. The next day I went back to his office. He had a contract for me. And so I had my talent management company and I was the art director. And I have no experience in graphic design or fashion at all. Now from there, I decided to switch over to FITM, which is a Fashion Institute of Design Merchandising. So I got in there and I did that for a year. And then the one thing I couldn't continue on in Hollywood and in fashion, I was just getting started. So which means I'm not gonna see any money coming in, only money coming out.
Yeah.
Like I think at that time I had like $60,000 saved up and that money was gone.
Yeah.
And so my kids are sleeping on the floor because I can't afford to buy them beds because I'm investing all into my company.
Into your dream, into your...
Yeah.
So you've been through a lot between military and out
Yes.
and fashion. And how do you express those feelings, or are you into movement? Do you exercise fashion, your creativity in fashion? Is that a venting tool that you use?
It's a calming tool.
Calming.
It's a calming tool because I do have some side effects from being in the military.
Yeah.
You know, I do have somewhat PTSD, anxiety. I get angry a lot faster. I'm not as organized as I used to be because my mind is just clustered everywhere, you know, because of what happened, you know, all the time in the military and all the hell I went through over there. So
how do you deal with it now?
so now, I mean, I do go to a gym a lot. I go twice a day actually.
Yeah, I see you posting
Yeah, I go crazy.
your
And-
pictures and videos in the gym.
And that's because there was a time when I first came to Saudi Arabia in 2018, I was out of shape. I was bad. I've always been skinny.
Yeah.
You know, I've always been a very skinny person, just like, you know, typical Korean. But I started getting depressed and I was just wasn't happy about life. So I just started binge eating and I didn't want to do anything. So I would just eat and then lay down, lay down.
What made you start to get out of there? That
I had a scare. Though, like stuff was kept on, you know, like I was having issues all the time, health-wise. So I went to a doctor, and the doctor was like, there's one of two things. You're this close of either being a diabetic or getting a heart attack.
yeah.
So that's when I was like, right there,
Wake
boom.
up call.
Nope, I'm not gonna leave my kids yet. You know, like nope, because for me, my kids are everything. That's first. That's why I left Hollywood and went to Korea.
Is that why you're here in Riyadh?
Yes, because when I first came here in 2018, culture shock. You know, I've never been in an environment like here other than a war zone. You know, because the war zone I went to was Iraq and Afghanistan. So, you know, you get what I'm saying? So
Yes, of course.
I was
a
always
different
scared. I was always
environment.
scared.
You're
and
on the
always
edge. You're just
paranoid
yes.
and everything, and just I wasn't doing anything. I could have gone to the desert and, you know, biking
There's
and
more
all this.
safety and calmness here. I guess.
That's what I gradually realized.
Yeah.
How safe it is here, how the people, the hospitality, how courteous everybody is. Like, they will literally give me their last dollar in their pocket if I needed it. Like that's how loving they are.
Yeah. What
Like-
about your designs? Do you design the clothes yourself? Or?
Yes. So, back to your old question, what 935 means.
Yes.
935 is ICE. So the
Okay.
ninth letter of the alphabet is I,
Okay.
the third letter alphabet is C, and the fifth letter alphabet is E.
So you just took the
letters, 'cause
and
I wanted to use
substitute,
ICE, but it sounded too cheap
yeah.
if I did that. So first it was 935 Los Angeles. But then I'm like, okay, it can't be Los Angeles because it's a Riyadh brand. I want to
Yeah.
make it into a Riyadh brand, a Saudi brand.
Yeah. Of course, any business has risks anyway.
But a lot of people, most people who, especially brand new business owners,
Yeah.
are afraid to take that risk because they might lose everything. So I totally get that. So you know what? I'll take the risk for you. If I lose, that's fine. You know.
So you're creating your own designs.
Yes.
Is it
and,
going to be an online shop or is it going to be an actual store?
It's gonna start off online.
And how is it different than any other brand? Like, what's distinguished about it?
So 935 is streetwear, LA streetwear, which streetwear came from Los
Is
Angeles.
it made in LA?
No, it's made. It's a Saudi brand.
Oh,
you
it's
know?
made locally then.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's LA streetwear and Korean streetwear hybrid.
Interesting.
And one thing about 935, the culture came out after.
Why the culture?
Because I'm looking at things now and the views I have now. My views when I was in the military is totally different with the views I have now. When I was in the military, I was hating everybody. Everybody was the enemy, you know. Now I see everybody as family. And doesn't matter where you're from, doesn't matter what religion you are.
But it's also a mindset.
Yeah.
Like you said, you know, you were in the military, you were surrounded by negative things, hate, aggressiveness, and then once you leave that environment, you start thinking about yourself, about your family.
That's exactly what 935 the
how
culture
do you,
is.
it's a thin line, like between your mindset and where you're at. Like, how do you switch to that motive that keeps you going, wanting to stay alive, wanting to keep going, especially at a low point?
Yeah. So for me, that was my creative mind. You know, anything negative, you have to distract yourself so you don't think about that negative.
But do you sit alone by yourself, or you can't?
I do. Actually,
Do you meditate or do yoga? I don't know.
no, yoga I can't. I don't think my body could take that.
Okay.
Because as I'm working out and as I'm going through the pain of my
Releasing.
muscles straining and everything, my mind clears and I think. I'm just thinking about stuff.
Yeah, that's
And
so
that's
true.
how sometimes I come up with designs.
Yeah.
And
It's the feeling you get after
Yes.
is just amazing, incredible.
but that's what the culture is. The culture is turning a negative into positive, and you change his life around.
And you.
The stuff I went through, you know, when as a young child, with all the streakings and getting into trouble and almost going to prison, going to war, and I overcame that and now I have a beautiful family. My kids are wonderful, and I'm here in Saudi Arabia living the best life of my life.
You've mentioned how you went through a lot of struggles and overcame them. What did you learn from the human himself, as a human? What did you learn from your story?
So what I learned was I always used to look at people at the worst state. After the military, I would have to say towards the end of the military, once I had my kids and I saw my beautiful kids, that's when I started seeing the good in people. And that's where my life changed. It became more positive because I wasn't afraid to meet people. I'm very outgoing. I could draw up a conversation with somebody that I just met on the street right now, and we could talk for hours.
Yeah.
You know, like
the
I
edge,
always saw the negative in people.
Yeah.
I saw them at the worst instead of seeing them at the best. And that's the type of person I actually want to be now. You know, even in the darkest hours, there will always be how do I say it? Even in the darkest days, there will be the best times.
You mean there's like a lesson that you...
Yeah, it's a lesson.
There's a lesson.
Yeah.
And every time you're down or you have a bad day or under pressure, you feel like there's something gonna come out of it.
Yes,
something
yes.
good that will lead to somewhere good.
It's not always going to be dark.
Yeah.
You know, eventually the light has to get in.
Yeah.
And instead of focusing on the dark side, you know, excitedly wait for the light to come in and see how it changes you. You know, and that's what happened. It changed me.
Nicely said. Well, thank you for being here today.
No, thank you. This
Thank
was
you.
amazing. Amazing.
Amazing.